It's time for SEC basketball on CSS, presented by Regions Bank, as we welcome you to the Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where today Alabama will try to right their season against the very tough Oakland Golden Grizzlies, 3-time Summit League tournament champions. And good afternoon, I'm Matt Stewart, joined by legendary Alabama coach Wimp Sanderson. And Wimp, Alabama started the season 6-0. They've lost 5 of their last 6, already lost as many home games this year, 3, as Anthony Grant lost in his first 3 seasons combined. So what's wrong with Alabama?
Well, Matt, they've had some injuries. They also had not been able to get the basketball inside on a real consistent basis. That's hurt their rebounding some. They hadn't got a lot of second and third shots on offense. On the defensive boards, they haven't really done a good job there either, and other teams are getting a lot of second and third shots on them.
Good news for Alabama. Senior guard Andrew Steele will be back today. He is available after missing the last 7 games with a sports hernia. Takes us to our one-on-one featuring 2 very good three-point shooters.
Well, Travis Bader, a great shooter, could be the all-time leading three-point shooter in the country when he gets through with basketball at Oakland, and certainly Trevor Lacey has done awfully well for Alabama, shooting a good percentage, and both of these basketball players have played awfully well for their teams.
Alabama has won only once over the last 5 weeks. Oakland 5-3 after a 2-6 start. Opening tip is coming up next. SEC basketball on CSS. SEC basketball on CSS is brought to you by Regions Bank. With Regions Mobile Banking, you can bank anytime, anywhere, on any device. So for an easier way to bank, make the switch to Regions today. Regions Bank, proud sponsor of the SEC. And by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. Go to geico.com now or call 1-800-947-AUTO for a free quote. See how much you could save. Back at the Coleman Coliseum, where the Alabama Crimson Tide and Oakland Golden Grizzlies getting ready to tip. Let's take a look at your Regions Bank starting lineups for the Grizzlies at 7-9 overall, 3-9 on the road. Bader, Mundy, Bass, Valentine, and Petros. And for the Crimson Tide at 7-5 overall, 4-3 at home. Lacey, Relaford, Randolph, Cooper, and Jacobs. Relaford, the junior guard, surrounded by the 4 sophomores, and Relaford, their leading scorer, at 15 points per game. With Regions Mobile Banking, you can bank anytime, anywhere, on any device. So for an easier way to bank, make the switch to Regions today. Anthony Jordan, Pat Evans, and Tony Hernandez, your officials working today's ball game. Alabama in the white. Coach, they'll start on offense.
Well, man-to-man defense by Oakland. I think Oakland's
inside to Jacobs, and he bounces it in off the rim. Good start for Jacobs, who scored a season-high 12 against Tulane his last time out.
That's what Alabama has to do, get the basketball into Jacobs. He needs to start playing better, and certainly a good start. 15 of the first 19 basketball games on the road by Oakland. I thought maybe their theme song was On the Road Again by Willie Nelson, but they've been on there enough.
First shot for the Grizzlies is a maker for Bass.
Well, little Ryan Bass had 20 points in the last outing. He's pretty quick, shoots the basketball pretty well outside. Of course, everybody's going to key on Bader, who is absolutely terrific shooter.
Rutherford scored only 6 in the loss against Tulane in their last ball game right before New Year's. That was 10 below his per-game average.
Yeah, anytime Rutherford gets the basketball outside of the screen, they're going to double him a lot.
Cooper's pass inside to Jacobs was kicked away.
You see Alabama doubling a lot on the side, and you're going to see also them doubling Rutherford, make him give the basketball up. He's a good penetrator with the ball. That's a really good key for Oakland to do.
And apparently Rodney Cooper stepped on the sideline after he took the inbounds pass. Anthony Grant, the head coach here at Alabama since 2009. 70-44 his record. 27-21 in the SEC. His SEC opener comes on Tuesday at Missouri.
Matchup with Randolph all over Bader, and see how many shots he gets off.
Petros had a shot blocked from behind by Jacobs. Bass comes up with it. Mundy puts it on the floor, and his bounce back pass to Petros is negated by his travel.
Here's a pretty good block, and that's something that they need to do a good job on, not letting them get the shots off inside. You know, the leading three-point shooter in the nation is here, and also the leading steal person is here in Duke Mundy. So they've got a guy that's stealing a lot of basketballs. They got a young man in Bader who's an absolute great shooter.
Greg Campy, who you saw a few moments ago, has done a wonderful job with this Oakland program in his 29th season. The missed shot by Lacey, and Oakland comes away with it. Took them from D2 to D1. They went D1 in 1999. Bass off the money this time. Inside they go, and Valentine converts.
Well, Bass is the cause of that. Really good bounce pass in there to him. He got the basketball. Alabama wasn't quite really good bank shot inside by Oakland. They've got a pretty darn good basketball team. They played a very, very good schedule, as you know, Matt. They almost beat Pittsburgh. Played a good game against West Virginia. Didn't play Tennessee very well, but they've got a good team. They've been on the road a lot.
Rodney Cooper, or actually that's Randolph, pardon me, with the jump shot. And Petros has the rebound.
They're looking for Bader every time they get down the floor originally, and they made him put it on the floor. That's what you want to make him do, is put it on the floor as much as possible. Don't give him that really good outside look.
Foul's going to be called on Duke Mundy. Mundy is the young man that you were talking about, who leads the nation in steals with 49. 3.1 per game.
It's not many times you do a game where one of the leading scorers in the nation is on the team, and the leading steal guys on the team as well. They're playing zone on the out of bounds play.
Jacobs with the left hand. Does not get the bounce this time.
Well, Jacobs has got to go after it after he misses it. He sort of looked at it. You got to be a little bit more aggressive than he is. He needs to play harder and better for Alabama if they're going to be successful once the SEC starts next Tuesday at Missouri.
Oakland's hit 2 of their first 5 shots. And Mundy knocks down the 2.
Well, we talk about Mundy and his good stealing. He's also averaging 11 points a game. He's a transfer kid, 6'4" junior, good basketball player.
He's also number 2 in the Summit League in assists per game, close to 5 assists per game.
It's interesting to see why they played 15 of their first 19 games on the road.
Rutherford knocks down the 3.
And there's something that Rutherford has done this year he did not do last year, and that's drilled the three-point shot. They played 15 of the first 19 because they're going to play 4 out of the first 5 in their league, in the Summit League, on the road, so he wanted to sort of get them used to it. A lot of screens for Bader, a lot of screens. Back screens, down screens for Bader to get a shot off.
Mundy launches over Lacey off back iron, and Petros saves it to Bader.
The one thing you try to do with Bader, Matt, is you try to keep the basketball off of him, not let him catch the basketball as much, and that's what Randolph is trying to do. I think that's a really big defensive point right there.
Jacobs will be called for the foul, coming over Petros' back. Opening 4.5 minutes, and Oakland has a 1-point lead.
A home improvement project takes patience, but getting the right loan for it doesn't have to. At Regents, you'll get an answer in about 30 minutes. So whether you're updating your kitchen, adding a bathroom, or putting in your own private oasis, nobody helps you borrow smarter than Regents. Home equity loans, personal loans, even auto loans, in case you want to fix up the garage. Hey, honey. No. Ah! It's okay. It's cool. Fine with it. A little piece of me just died.
Chevron with Techron. Care for your car. David, muscle was your car. That means after you get on the gift card, it's your gift card. Thanks to Chevron, and thanks to all our participants in today's competition. Chevron's a sponsor of Crimson Tide Athletics. Thanks to the Suit Store for the sponsorship of Crimson Chaos. Now, a convenient on-campus location for visits to the store online at suitstore.edu. The Suit Store is out to cover. Hey, if you're looking out for the court, there's an empty seat closer to the court where you might be sitting. Like to sit in it.
Opening 4.5 minutes, and Oakland on top of Alabama 6-5. While you watch this game on CSS, you can follow it on Twitter. You can follow me at Matt_Stewart CSS. You can follow our network. You can like us on Facebook, and you can also check out our website, css-sports.com.
Matt, you're going to see this Oakland team at a fast pace, and once they get across the 10-second line, they like to find Bader and get him a shot off the break, because so many times the defense goes back in the middle of the court, and he has an opportunity. Thus far, he hadn't had a look. Randolph's done a nice job of going against him and trying to keep the ball off of him. I think as the game goes on, you'll see him get maybe some quality shots.
Greg Campy is 21st among active coaches in college basketball, just 3 wins shy of 500. He's been the head coach at Oakland since 1984.
29 years, I think.
You were a head coach back in 1984, Coach.
Yeah, I was.
In company with Jim Boeheim.
Yeah, he's a good coach, too. Good out-of-bounds play there that didn't quite work in the end. They turned it over. Big Musa in the basketball game on the inside. And we see Andrew Steele, who's been gone the last 7 games.
Andrew Steele, number 22, right there with his hands on the ball. And Musa Gay, who you mentioned, has also checked into the ball game, and he's down on the low block. They get him the ball. Musa Steele drop step and lays it in.
Pretty much the rule for Oakland is to double Lacey and double Relaford. Anytime they get the ball, try to get it out of their hands as quick as possible, and thus far it's worked pretty good. Good little inside shot by Musa, but doubling those 2 guys is very, very important for Oakland to be successful in this game.
Alabama has a 1-point lead.
Well-coached basketball team. They are not in a hurry, not selfish.
They have dominated the Summit League over the last 4 years. In fact, over the last 4 seasons, they are 62-12 in their last 74 games in conference play, Coach.
Yep, and sometimes you see a guy like Bader sort of start off slow. Defenses really own him. It'll be interesting to see as they pick it up and as we go through the game, he gets some shots. Alabama making some substitutes, and we'll see. The double teams have affected Lacey some. They affected Relaford a little bit, although he hit 1 outside shot. But I think that's probably a pretty good way for this Oakland team to play them defensively.
Duke Mundy, 72.5% from the foul line. He's a transfer from Providence. He led the Big East in steals when he was back playing for the Friars.
You'll see some zone by Oakland. Thus far, it's been man except on the out-of-bounds play, but you'll see a little zone before this day is over.
Relaford with the crossover dribble gets the ball in the corner to Randolph. And Andrew Steele out running the point. Tried to dump it inside. Ill-advised pass was knocked away by Petros.
Well, Pollard trying to post up. Nobody took the ball there.
Pass all the way, a wild shot, and he kicks it out of bounds.
Well, everybody thought he was going to pass the basketball off. He kept it. They were just fortunate that he didn't get a very good shot off, but you've got to pick up the basketball and get it picked up as high as you possibly can. You cannot let the ball get in the lane.
Both teams with 3 field goals here in the opening 6 minutes. Musa Gay gets it, working against Petros, and Gay's going to be called for traveling.
Well, he got his pivot feet mixed up. One thing that happens here is they're going to double off the top. Anytime Big Musa gets the ball, the guy's going to be behind him defending him, and they're going to double from the top. In other words, they're going to come in there and scratch and claw and try to not give him a very good look at the basket.
Bader hasn't been a factor yet in this ball game. Nice crossover by Mundy, then he had a shot blocked out of bounds.
Really good crossover. When he got there, he saw a big arm and big hand on him, but it was a good crossover.
Look at that move.
Bader's anxious.
Bader drives and puts it in. First points for Bader.
If you can't shoot the three, make him put it on the floor. He put it on the floor and made the little 8-footer.
The thing about Bader is he has now become a guy that can put the ball on the floor. His first 2 years on campus, he could not do that, but he has gotten to the line a lot this season. Bader has taken 82 free throws already, which is good indication that he has been able to put the ball on the floor like he did right there.
Well, they got Andrew Steele guarding him. Andrew, of course, has been out for a while, but a very good defensive player. This last foul occurred when they tried to double Relaford, but they didn't get to him in time, and they fouled him.
Steele off the inbounds, knocks down the jumper.
That's certainly big there for Alabama. It gives them an opportunity to get another perimeter player that can shoot the ball, and you always need that.
Bader drops it off for Petros. Stays with it, shot blocked. Pollard blocked his shot.
Well, Bader passed out of the opportunity to shoot it. He passed it, and the big man stopped it.
Nifty play by Relaford, and then the reverse layup by Randolph. And a timeout called by Greg Campy. Or a technical foul. Apparently not a timeout, but what do we have here?
I don't know. He wants to call. I don't think he called anything on him.
We have a warning on Greg Campy. That's what we have.
I don't know what happened. He must have said something to one of the officials, or somebody did.
1 point lead for Alabama.
I was never used to that when I coached. All right, here's a good situation right here to talk about. Randolph is defending him when he doesn't have the ball by face guarding him and trying to keep the basketball off of him. Here's what Oakland does. Oakland will down screen to get Bader the shot. They will back screen to get him the shot, but that's what they try to do as much as they possibly can to get something.
Ballantyne drives and misses, and the rebound controlled by Jacobs, who clears it to Obazahan. Obazahan comes off the screen. Petros grabs the rebound.
One and done for Alabama. This is one thing that they need to work on and I'm sure they do.
Bader too far underneath the hoop when he tried to reverse it up there, and a jump ball is called favoring Oakland.
Here's to get some second and third shots, and they struggle with that from time to time.
11:38 to play in the opening half. Alabama and Oakland playing a tight one here at the Coleman Coliseum. Bader finally got on the board with this runner.
I'm your lucky team, Flag. We've gone through 14 seasons together, but in Flag years, I'm like 130. Now, I'm just holding on by a thread. If you've got Trust Rate Insurance, you could be dealing with this mess yourself. So get Allstate, where agents keep you protected from mayhem like me.
Mayhem is everywhere, so get an Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
See this. Alabama with a 1-point lead. College basketball is on CSS. Don't miss live men's and women's matchups from the SEC, Conference USA, ASUN, Sun Belt, Big East, and more. Check out the website to find the game you want to see, like Alabama at Mississippi State, 2 Wednesdays from now, right here on the network. And Andrew Steele has already made his first game appearance after missing the last 7 games with an injury, and he already hit a bucket, Coach.
Well, he must be practicing pretty well. They had him defensively on Bader, which was big, and then they got a little jump shot for him off their offense. He drilled that one, so he's back in the swing of things. He's not in there right now. He's probably not quite conditioned well enough to go a long, long time.
Anthony Grant told us he was not sure how much he would be able to play today, but just the fact they got him in at the first time out is an indication of how badly they need him on the floor. Poaches, drives and banks it in. 1-point lead for Oakland. Grizzlies 2 of 6 from the floor after starting 3 of 7.
Alabama's got a little bit better spacing, I think, offensively than they've had in other games. Makes it a little bit more difficult to defend the dribbler.
Randolph lost the dribble into the hands of Valentine and ahead to Bader.
This is where Bader's going to look to shoot it pretty quick. They're really not going to him that much. Randolph's doing a good job on him, but they're not really going after him that much.
Poaches threw up a wild shot. Oakland ends up with the offensive rebound.
There's the shot.
Didn't make him pay when he got the open look. Lacey, who's the #1 3-point shooter in the SEC, off the mark on his 3-point attempt.
Well, it's one and done for Alabama, and they need certainly the rebounding. You asked me about that to start the show, and I felt like the rebounding has been a little bit of a problem for Alabama on both ends of the floor.
Oakland has out-rebounded Alabama thus far, 11-5.
They get the basketball in the lane and not getting a very good shot once they get it there. Pretty good contest in the lane by the big guys, or they don't have that many big guys, but Jacobs inside. You got to get up to the trees and shoot it before you get there. You get inside them trees, you can't get a very good shot off.
And a foul is going to be called
illegal screen,
on
Matt.
Alabama.
Yeah, they moved on the screen, and so I think Coach Campy's complaining, Matt, might have helped.
Nick Jacobs called for the foul. That's going to be #2 on him.
That might have helped him complaining a little bit. He might have gotten one.
Is that the way it works?
No, it doesn't work that way.
Both teams with 5 field goals in this ball game. Oakland with 7 more field goal attempts than Alabama in the first 10 minutes.
They're playing what you call a 4-out. Kentucky runs a lot of this, where they really are real spread. 2 guys in the corner, 2 guys wide. Well, double teaming here on Bader, but that's the way they want to play, and I think it's a very good offense. They're very spaced. They've got a single post guy, and they're very hard to defend.
5 on the shot clock. Petros with 2 on the shot clock, and now Bader with 1 off back iron. And Musa Gay chases it down for Alabama.
I love the way that Oakland tries to play offensively. I think that's a great way to play. Kentucky won a championship with that. Of course, they had great players, but I like the way they do things. They have a lot of spacing in their offense.
Steele kicks to the corner, and Randolph for 3. Knocks it down. Levi Randolph shoots Alabama back into the lead.
And a very good back screen. The defense couldn't get out. They threw what we call the skip pass to the corner, and Randolph nailed it.
Poaches And the rebound by Gay. Relaford goes by the defense and lays it in.
Nobody helped on the inside. The dribbler got away. He got past the defense. Nobody helped, and that's a killer.
Anthony Grant applauds his guys as they come off the floor. Pleased with the effort as Relaford drives to the hole and lays it in. Bama leads by 4. And we'll stay here right now because that was a coach's called timeout and not a timeout on a dead ball. So no break just as of yet. But great effort, great energy by Alabama, something that's no doubt going to please Anthony Grant.
Playing a little bit harder today, I think. They're getting the basketball where they want to get it. Moose's Gabe's helped some. He screened some. This Oakland team has been getting the basketball inside some, but they're almost getting it in there too far. They can't get a contested shot. So Bader has been shut down, has only 1 field goal, which is no threes, which is a little bit unusual this late in the game. Probably the longest he's gone without scoring a 3.
Yeah, Alabama actually 2 of 3 so far on their three-point shots. You see Randolph knock down 1. Oakland has yet to hit 1. They're 0 for 4. Bader's 0 for 2. That'll change, though. There's Bader.
That's what gives them a chance to shoot right there.
Wow, Bader missed again. He was too open.
When they press and pressure like that and they chase the ball, that really gives Bader a better chance to shoot the jump shot. He got one off, but he didn't hit it. But I think that's big for Oakland to have a chance to beat that press and get the jump shot out of the double teams.
That was a wild shot by Bass.
We talked about what kind of schedule this team has played.
Relaford dribbles it off his foot.
That one.
Goes back and picks it up.
Ooh.
Apparently Bass touched it. Relaford weaving through the defense, kick to the corner, and steal is wide open, but doesn't make him pay for it. And a foul is going to be called on Alabama away from the ball. And this is our timeout. 6:55 to play in the half with Bama on top by 4.
Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, gotta be me. Gotta be me. I've gotta be me. Gotta be me. It's gotta be me.
Okay, can we see it?
I'm romantic, I'm sorry.
I probably have to say $10 million.
Yeah,
right
I got
$10 million.
Okay. And when we're going to hit that? I'm sorry. Okay, yep.
You're right, Mr. Fox. You want a gift card for everything. Here you go. And you have a jersey for Miss Liz. Congratulations.
Cadence Bank says after music's right every day and every way. For more, visit cadencebank.com.
Alabama leading Oakland by 4. Matt Stewart, coach Wimp Sanderson with you in Tuscaloosa. Let's take a look at the Kentucky Wildcats as we're getting ready to tip off conference play here. 9-4. They have not been ranked for over a month in the AP poll, although they were picked to finish first in the SEC preseason media poll. They'll open their conference play Thursday at Vanderbilt.
Well, this is a Vanderbilt team that struggled a little bit. The Kentucky team is going to be better in February. I don't really particularly like their perimeter play as much as I have in past years, so we'll wait and see if it improves.
Bass on the drive, dribble it off his foot.
Well, they tried to go one-on-one on Lacey and spread the floor as best they could and get a foul on him. It was either Lacey or Relaford, maybe Relaford. But they tried to do that and turned it over. The difference in this offense is Alabama does a lot of screening down on the baseline, which is good also. Not quite as much spacing as Oakland has.
Relaford with 2 on the shot clock and beats it. That's a 2-point shot for Relaford.
Relaford, the leading scorer, and played awfully well, taking it inside on the dribble and shooting the ball much better outside than he did last year, so he's been a threat all over the court.
Oakland has now gone more than 5 minutes without a bucket. Steal for Alabama. And Bader comes up with it again.
And we had a foul here that probably wasn't called. It needed to be on the steal.
Bader still only 2 points in this game. Mundy. And the rebound by Alabama after Lacey and Gay collided.
Well, at least you like to see them, and I'm sure Anthony does, go after the basketball. Both of them tried to come down with it, and that's good. It's a better shooting basketball team, Alabama, than they did last year. Certainly Relaford and Lacey are the best shooters.
Lacey misses the runner. Valentine the rebound for Oakland. Bader had an open look, instead puts it on the floor. Musagay the rebound. Bader really struggling with his shot right
really
now.
Is.
I think Alabama's just thrown him out of a rhythm.
Maybe a little bit.
And Cooper got fouled while dribbling on the baseline.
Well, Cooper is sort of a 4-player, what we might call a forward or more of an inside player at 6'6". Relaford, Lacey, playing outside on the perimeter. Cooper you might think of as a post guy or off post a little bit with Musa. Still, Jacobs not quite where he needs to be, I'm sure, with the coaches anyway. He's kind of up and down. Doesn't give him a whole lot when he comes in, but he's got some ability.
Cooper averaging 12.5 points per game. Gets 1 of 2. 7-point lead for Alabama as the Golden Grizzlies continue with their scoring drought here in the first half.
Well, if they get by with this press, if they get by the press, and that's going to give Bader an opportunity for a jump shot. It did the last time he didn't make it, but they're going to double in the backcourt. Here they go.
Mundy on the drive, takes it all the way and had his shot blocked by Musagay, but Gay collided with him to do that. And Mundy's going to go to the line.
Well, Mundy had his mind made up. He's going to take it and dunk it, and he started off a little bit too far.
And Musagay had his mind made up. He wasn't going to let him dunk it.
That's exactly right. They have not gotten a lot of good quality shots. Alabama's done a nice job defensively. They haven't gotten out of their offense quite the quality shots I'm sure that Coach Campy wants them to have.
Mundy gets both of the free throws, and finally the drought ends, but they still haven't hit a bucket from the floor. It's the free throws that ends the scoring drought, however.
They've had a long drought. Give Alabama some credit.
Randolph on the drive and lays it in.
Well, if you can't defend the dribbler, then you're in trouble. And when you get beat on the dribble, Matt, you've got to have some help on the backside, and they got beat and didn't have any help.
Again, a 7-point lead. Obazahan got his hands on Poches.
That's right, he did. Anytime you're playing the ball, you got to keep your hands off of them. That's a big thing for these officials. Don't guide them with your hands. Play with your feet and with your head. think it's 1-1. 1-1. 7th team foul, Matt.
So Pochus will be at the line. Averages under 3 points per game.
This is about the only thing that they've gotten in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Is longer than that, actually. There's a couple 3 free throws. They get the ball all the way to the goal, but Alabama does a good job at the goal of blocking it or contesting it.
71% free throw shooter. That's 3 consecutive free throws for the Grizzlies.
And I mentioned that they played Tennessee, West Virginia, Pittsburgh, Michigan State, those 4 teams all year long during the year. And so they played some good basketball teams.
Oakland cuts it to 5. Cooper for 3. Mundy the rebound. He also averages about 4 rebounds per game. He does a lot for the Grizzlies. Missed that shot, however. Ahead it comes to Randolph. Randolph jams it home.
That gets your shooting percentage up. A really good rebound, a really good outlet pass, a really good run out by Randolph. That's what you call these guys running the floor. When you get cheap baskets, you got a good chance to win.
7-point lead again for Alabama. Another turnover. 3 on 2 for Bama. Lacey lobs it up for Obazahan, who banks it in.
There'll be a timeout, I'll guarantee you. Yep.
Greg Campy thinking just like you, Coach, and calls the timeout. And a 9-point lead for Alabama. It is their largest of the ball game. One of the things that Anthony Grant talked to us about were lulls offensively and or defensively. They haven't had any of those today, and getting out and running in the break and scoring in the break has helped prevent that.
Well, Boston got that basketball off, got up on the long pass for the easy shot to Randolph, and then another dribble drive, layup. Anytime you can get those kinds of shots, those high percentage shots, you can run that score up. Alabama's got 2 great looks because they ran the floor and played hard. That's great for them.
Alabama shooting 58% from the floor because they've gotten a lot of layups.
Yeah, there you are right there. You can't lay it on great shooting the way you can really great running and offensive hustle by Alabama to get some cheap baskets.
Of course, Oakland 5 of 24 from the floor, and that's a big part of the Alabama defense. Bass goes all the way, and again Musa Gay.
Yeah, they
got
get
a piece of that shot.
They get it to the basket. Musa Gay's going to stop that.
Relaford, no defense whatsoever, and Campy wants another timeout. And he is none too pleased with an Ole defense right there on that possession.
Well, he's going to do 1 of 2 things. He's either going to substitute or he's going to go to zone for a trip or 2 just to see what he can do. But things getting out of hand now, 11-point lead. And
well, Coach, where was the defense? No one even picked him up.
No, that's right. You get easy shots. We're going to, as announcers, tell the kind of percentage that Alabama's shooting, but they're getting some easy shots, and they're doing a good job with it. Nobody picks them up at all. Nobody helps.
Yeah, it's one thing when an offense beats you. It's another thing when you just don't play any defense.
Sure, right.
And you got to understand that Coach Greg Campy is going to be highly upset when he sees something like that.
Well, the other factor too is that Bass got by the defense on this last press breaker, but got in the lane, and Musa, he tattooed Spalding on his forehead.
You got to admire Bass's tenacity, but that's not going to work.
No, that 20 points he got was against Omaha.
Bader's been held to 2 points. Drives and hits it.
Well, Pollard tried to defend him, and I think it's a good idea to get a big, tall guy on him. I think that helps some, blocks his vision, and Pollard, of course, the freshman.
Well, typically when Oakland plays teams from the SEC or the Big East or the Big Ten, whatever the case may be, they're going to put a long athlete on him and try to make things difficult for him by pounding and beating on him, and that's kind of the approach that Alabama's taken today.
Well, Cooper struggled. He's still shooting a lot of
Bass is simply out of control right now with his shooting. Wild shot by Bass, and Alabama's taking control of this ball game, although Bader put it on his hip and then hit a floater. It was pretty, but Bama leads 27-18.
That was a 2.5.
Last year. Alabama with a 9-point lead on Oakland, and Coach, the Crimson Tide defense has made life miserable so far for Travis Bader.
Well, here's where you try to guard the guy without the ball. He finally gets it, but you put a lot of pressure on him once he does get it, make it difficult. And what happens there is you wear him down, and in the second half of the game, the latter part, when he's supposed to be really good, he's tired and he can't shoot it very well. Valentine going to the line. This is about the only thing that Oakland has done is go to the free throw line. They just can't shoot the basketball. They've got to shoot the shot a little bit quicker before they get to the goal. When they get to the goal, the big defense is there and stops it.
Valentine, preseason All-Summit League second team, averaging right at 9 points per game, 6 rebounds per game. He's number 8 in the Summit in that category. And he's also right at 2 steals per game as well, number 3 in the Summit in that category as well.
No pressure. Let's see if they go back zone.
27-20.
No, they stayed man. No, they didn't. No, they did. They stayed man. They can't stop the dribbler.
Bader knocked the ball away. Randolph was there, and Steele gets it back.
Boy, I'll tell you something, Matt. You can't defend that dribbler, you got all kind of problems.
Alabama went 2-5 in Andrew Steele's absence. After winning their first 5 games with him, Relaford misses. Relaford gets it back, swings it inside, and the ball was lost out of bounds by Pollard, but a foul's going to be called on Oakland.
Loose ball there, both of them going after it. They were able to throw the ball off of one of the Oakland guys' legs and end up with it. So get Bader back in there. They got Bader's in there. I'm sorry.
Well, Mundy has picked up 3 fouls, so he's going out of the ball game. They'll get Poaches in there for him, and off the inbounds, Relaford banks it in.
Sound asleep. Alabama did a good job of seeing that, but sound asleep.
Poaches on the drive, and he shoots it up and over Musagay this time.
Well, what happened? Here's the difference. When Oakland drives, Alabama's got help if they beat the defense. When Alabama drives, Oakland doesn't give any help.
Holding foul on Valentine. He grabbed a hold of Pollard to deny him of the pass.
You have to have help if you get beat on the dribble. Alabama helps each other. Oakland thus far, I think a well-coached team, has not helped each other.
Still only 5 team fouls on Oakland. And Pollard lost the inbounds pass. It comes to Poaches. To Bass. Bass drives and missed the layup. Valentine missed the tip-in. And Steele gets it ahead to Relaford. Great hustle by Alabama to Randolph. Back to Relaford. Shot blocked from behind by Bass, but he fouled it.
There's no reason for Bass and them not to score at the other end. Good job by Alabama getting the ball down the floor, getting the ball to the baseline, kicking it to the inside, kicking it back. That's a good rebound. And the guys are running pretty well today. There's your pass to the side, back to the inside, and the foul occurs. It's the best I've seen Alabama run and get it out and get it down the floor and get cheap baskets. And cheap baskets mean you shoot good percentage, and good percentage means you win games.
Relaford, the leading scorer thus far, has 11 points. Relaford's one of the best free throw shooters
87
in the conference.
Yep.
87%. Oakland, meantime, only 3 field goals over the last 11 minutes of this game.
And not 1 3 this half by anybody.
They have the 7th longest streak in NCAA history on 3-point shots, but they're going to go a half, it looks like, without one unless they get one on this last offensive set.
Well, they're going to work it down and probably try to set a screen for Bader. He's got it by himself now.
Bounce to Valentine. Valentine, shot blocked by Musagay, but a foul before the block. And it's going to be on Pollard.
So they took the 3-point shot away, and you got to give Bader credit. Even though he has not been able to score, he's gotten the ball to the open people. He did a good job there of getting the ball inside. Nothing there for him. In his mind, I'm sure he's a little bit upset because he hadn't gotten the 3. But so it shows he had a little something to him when he passed it.
That's the first miss for Oakland at the free throw line in this half. Their free throw shooting have kept them in the ball game. They're 8 of 9 at the line. Timeout by Anthony Grant with 1.2 seconds.
You got to use it or lose it. Anthony Grant with 1.2 is going to throw the long baseball pass down to the goal and try to get something off of the catch. So what you do, you either guard the guy out of bounds with the ball real tight, or you just drop off and play 5 against 4 and not let him get a lob pass.
Levi Randolph has had a big first half, Coach. 9 points.
Yep, he's run out well. He's got cheap baskets. He's got some jump shots. He's played pretty good defensively. It's been a better game for him.
Yeah, Randolph and Relaford have combined for 20 of Alabama's 29 points here in the first half.
Okay, this is an interesting situation here, situation basketball, where the ball's on the end line, and they're going to swing her to the other end for a shot. We'll see how Oakland plays it. They're going to play 5 against 4, so to speak, off of it. Make them throw it back there. They ain't going to get anything.
Relaford at the buzzer. Just a little bit short. That's the end of the first half. A big first half for Trevor Relaford as he scores 11 points.